Hello, everyone. Another year has gone. We're going to do our top 10 series. We're going to start with movies in this one.
This is our favorite.
Oh my gosh.
It's called Cats.
I can't believe we watched that entire thing.
This is such a good movie. It's not a good movie.
For the cover, we picked two of the worst movies we saw this year.
These are the best movies we saw.
Oh my God.
Have you seen
Awful.
this movie?
That is an abomination.
Not you. I know you saw it. Have you seen this movie? Why? Why did you see this movie? We didn't see a lot of movies this year. I didn't
not
see
a lot of
movies.
Not a lot of like new to us movies anyway.
Yes.
We spent a lot more time doing other stuff, but we'll start with my number 10. It barely made it. It was on the fence with like number 11 and 12, but Earwig and the Witch. We did a video talking all about this movie. It
That
is not
you didn't want?
well, it's not without its problems.
You're
but
not without your problem.
There are some things about it that are very charming to enough where it came pretty much smack dab in the middle of my list. I think I watched like 18 new to me like movies this year, and came out at number 10. Earwig and the Witch for me.
Mine was a newer movie. It is called Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
It is a Marvel movie, which Stefan said he was done with, but then he watched some,
I know,
and now he's not done with it.
You keep sucking me back into the Marvel thing. I'm so done with it. But then
Yeah.
tonight, I promised you I was going to watch the first episode of Hawkeye.
If you've watched Hawkeye, please let us know and
It's
let
too
him
much.
know.
It's too much Marvel. I'm so done with it. It's too much.
I really liked Hawkeye. I really liked Hawkeye.
The
Not
only-
as good as Loki.
The only
but
reason I agreed to watch it is because her sister's in it.
Yes, Yelena's in it. I love her. I love everybody in this. They're fantastic. The casting was great. Rachel Weisz. My girlfriend.
Well, can I have that? Because my number 9 is Black Widow. Originally, I watched this on Disney Plus, actually, because you watched it, and then you watched it a second time, made me watch it. And the same thing, this is actually one of the better Marvel movies, because it gets what I like about them right, the humor, and the action mixed in. They're just kind of like silly, fun action movies with interesting superhero comic booky characters, and that was one of the better ones. That was my number 9.
I think that happened a lot this year. Where I watched something and then I watched it again.
Yes, half
forcing
the ones,
you to watch it.
even like the bottom half of my top 18 or whatever.
Thank you.
No, I'll say, but a lot of it is mostly movies that you watched and then made me watch. But a
Yeah.
few of them are
A
like
few of
Black,
them are
Black
in your
Widow
top.
made number 9. So
A couple of them are.
all right, so that was my number 9.
So
Your
my number 9, this is a collection, so we're going to show you what the actual movie
That was
looks like.
actually my number 11. Like I was almost Earwig and the Witch.
This is Little Shop of Horrors. This is
original one.
a what's his name? Roger Corman.
Corman,
Roger
yeah.
Corman collection.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would be as high if I hadn't watched that documentary about the actual, well, our Little Shop of Horrors, the 90s,
yeah,
like
80s.
80s, whatever.
Yeah, Rick Moranis,
Rick
yeah.
Moranis. Just because this was made on a dare, if you could film or shoot a movie
Mm-hmm.
in one day, which is like so impressive, and this was really funny and really
good.
well done,
Yeah.
which was weird.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that, and this is, what did we say, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, something like that.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Are you trying
This
to talk
was
about the
old.
date?
Yes,
Yeah,
when was
this-
this made? It was old.
Like 70s, isn't it?
It was
yeah.
old.
Yeah, Roger Corman.
I don't usually
Driving
watch
Collection.
things that are ancient like you.
Well, that is actually going to be a surprise later on for me.
Surprise!
Because it's not surprising, because I regularly watch things from like 20s, 30s, 40s. You do not.
Do you?
But there's
You
one
know,
big
all
surprise.
the people that I work with, not all the people I work with, all the people at my job.
Yes.
Because
yeah.
I have a lot of older people
Yes.
that come in.
They all know the people I know.
They all know those people.
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird.
So my number 8, a William Powell and Myrna Loy movie that I had not seen before. Seen most of their movies where they're paired up. This one I had not seen before. From the Warner Archive, we have Love Crazy, William Powell and Myrna Loy.
That looks riveting.
It's hilarious because he basically has to fake insanity, but then people start believing his insanity to try and stop her from
I watched,
divorcing
like,
him.
10
You
minutes
see
of
a little
that.
bit of it. I think you came down.
Yeah, I
saw a
watched
little
like
bit.
10.
But,
Yeah, because there
it
was
a lot of fun.
something from, I don't remember what the quote was. There was something that's in another movie, but it
I know what you're talking
originated
about,
here.
and it's not this movie.
Oh,
I do know what
okay.
you're talking about. That was
I don't
Mr.
know.
Blandings Builds His Dream House. That was with Cary Grant and Myrna Loy.
Same thing.
No, that's not.
Same thing.
But I know what you're talking about. But no, that was Cary Grant.
Let us know if you've seen
But
any
Love
of these.
Crazy, really good. So it didn't disappoint. I've never seen a movie where they're paired up that I didn't like. I love everything they're in together.
Wow.
So, you're number 8.
My number 8 is also a movie that I made you watch.
I like that as well.
This is a great movie, and I was not expecting to like this, but I felt like
I only have one big
culturally I
problem
had
with
to watch it.
Yeah. Because it's Italian.
It's Luca. This was such a great movie.
The Race for the Vespa.
I loved the mythology. I loved everything except for the way it looks. If this was hand drawn, this would be amazing.
That was the only thing I didn't like
And
about it too. I like
I
the
just-
story and characters.
If Disney could just
Yeah.
go back
I
to
wish it wasn't
hand-drawn,
CG. Yeah.
it would be so much better. But this is a great movie. Let me know if you've seen it, because I really liked it. I watched a lot of Disney Plus this year.
Yes, you did. Yeah, a lot of them, and a lot of them ended up being ones that we bought. Then we saw a few real stinkers on Disney Plus.
I saw a lot more than you did.
The one you made me watch with the dragon the other night was unbearable. But so what are we at?
I
Number
thought it was
7?
charming.
Number 7.
Yes.
Number 7. Another one of my favorites that I had not seen this movie before. Call Her Savage with Clara Bow.
You call me savage all the time.
Yeah, you are savage. But I had not seen this one before. Ended up grabbing a copy finally, and
Do I look like her?
I loved it. No, you look a little bit like Clara Bow, but not quite as much. But yes, so I really enjoyed that one.
My number 7 is something that Stefan said he didn't want. But Stefan
Ended up
said
being good.
he didn't want to watch it.
Ended
He
up
didn't
being
want
good.
it. Earwig and the Witch. This was a great movie. It would have been, again, like Luca, much better if it was hand-drawn.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked it a lot better. There were some problems with the story, but that was okay. I'm really pissed off because I can't get the soundtrack to this in English. I don't know why. It does not exist. You can't even find it on YouTube. It's really stupid.
It's been released other places, you said?
Yeah, other countries have their versions of it. I love the song, though, but...
That is the problem that Goro has where it's not a finished movie. Because there's enough story during the credits to be another 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple issues like that.
Goro can't help it, okay? He gets, like, the short end of the stick in, like, everything in his life. It's not his fault.
My number 6, and I guess I should talk about 6 and 5 together for this one, then you can do your couple, because... And these are another ones that you watched. And you
I didn't
want to
watch these. I didn't want to watch them.
Of all of these, these are the ones more than any of these that I went in watching thinking I'm not going to like this.
I watched it thinking I'm not
And
going to
I
like it.
don't know why I like them so much,
Because
but
they're awesome.
I love them. So my number 6 is the Maleficent 2, Maleficent Mistress of Evil. And my number 5 is the first one with
Maleficent?
Angelina Jolie. I freaking loved these movies. I didn't want to. I didn't think I was going to.
I didn't want to like them either.
I didn't think I was going to.
I really didn't.
Because I don't like most modern Disney in general. Like there
And
are
live
a
action.
handful that I watched this year. Like this was a weird year where there actually were a handful that I really liked, and the live action ones have been horrible so far, like unwatchably bad. But these I really enjoyed, and I really like Angelina Jolie. We have like a half a shelf of just Angelina Jolie movies over there.
I don't like Angelina Jolie.
But you
I
liked her
like
in this, didn't you?
I did like
She
her
was
in
like
this.
perfect for this character. She's the best part out of both of these. But yeah, both of these were just fantastic. First one I think put things together better. The second one I loved when they found her people and that whole element. But the other stuff felt a little too cheesy Disney. This took a little more like a chance of some of the storytelling.
Don't lie. Your favorite
So-
character was the king, Stefan.
No.
That was his favorite
Right.
character.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so that's my 6 and 5. Put them together because I am shocked how much I enjoyed those.
So my number 6 is controversial.
What's your number 6? Oh, yeah.
It's not actually controversial. This movie has the same problem as Sucker Punch had.
It wasn't terrible. It was a
There's
little
the
great, but
same-
it wasn't terrible.
The same problem Sucker Punch had.
What same problem?
Because Sucker Punch was like, they targeted the wrong audience. Like the advertising was incorrect. And I think this had the same problem because everyone thought this was like super like racist.
I remember
like-
the previews. It made it look like a really blatant, like white savior type movie.
And it's
like,
not.
Yeah, I'll say
It's
like
not.
the
It
previews were
really
cut
is
weird.
not.
Yeah,
But-
because I think the problem is they focused on Matt Damon for the market.
Yes.
And he's not really the draw of the thing, even though he's kind of the main character. It's
No,
not really.
I always say I don't like Matt Damon, and then I have all these movies with Matt Damon,
Yeah.
and I really like them.
That was near
I
my
don't know
bottom
why.
for the year, but I get why you like it.
This is called The Great Wall.
Mm-hmm.
It's that guy that directs it, that does all the other movies with the colors, and he makes all the colors.
Oh yeah, House of
Colors.
Flying Daggers,
The colors.
Hero, with
The
Jet Li,
colors.
all those- yeah,
I love the
yeah.
colors. There's really pretty colors in this. This was a really, really, really good movie. I love the behind the scenes. Like, they were trying to do something revolutionary
Mm-hmm.
with film, and it just didn't work. But it was so beautiful. They brought all these people together.
I love the supporting.
That was
The one thing I
so
didn't
cool.
really like was Matt Damon in it. I think
And
if you took him out for me, I would
William
like it
Dafoe
better.
is in this. Like, the cast is great. And The Mandalorian,
Yeah,
he's in
he was-
there.
He was good. I liked
he was
him.
great. He looked so much better before they shaved all their facial hair off. But it's actually a really good movie, and you should give it a chance. And let me know if you did give it a chance and you hate it, and you hate me now.
I would
I'm
actually
sorry.
agree to give it a chance. Again, for me, that was near the bottom of my.
There's
for
definitely
the year.
problems with this.
Yeah, it wasn't one of my favorite ones, but I totally get why you liked it so much, and it is one that I'd recommend you give it a chance. If you
There's
can-
another one that Amanda made you watch.
Yeah, that's
After I
most of
watched.
this,
Actually, most of
So
my list
yeah,
is.
so that was your 6. What's your number 5?
Number 5 is Maleficent. Malefidu. Malefidu?
Yeah, a little thing.
The Mistress of Evil. Number 2. I really wanted to hate these movies.
Again, the same
really,
thing. I don't
really
know.
wanted
Both
to
of us
hate
went into
movies.
these with a very negative attitude, and well, because you. And the only reason I watched them was you watched them first, and
I
you're
watched
like,
them
and you're
first.
like, no, they're
I was
actually
like,
good.
you need to watch this because I wanted to hate it and I can't. I can't hate it. And there's some things I like better about this one, but there are a lot of things that aren't as good. But that was my number 5.
All right. Moving on to my number 4, we have The Art of Love. Which this movie I had seen portions of before, but I never sat down and watched the entire thing until I had a copy of my own. But Dick Van Dyke and Elka Summer, so 2 of my favorites ever. And this is just if you like just good, silly 60s comedies, which you do, I know you don't. I absolutely
No.
love. Dick Van Dyke is a struggling artist who is convinced by his best friend James Garner that he can make a lot more money if he faked his own suicide, because then after his death, and then it's all about him hiding his identity, the things that are going on. It's much more complicated when he runs into Elka Summer in the river, and she falls in love with him, and this whole thing happens. It's amazing. But yeah, I would recommend this movie to check it out. It's amazing.
No. I will not be. But you should check this movie
Yeah,
out.
made it pretty far.
This is actually on, or at least it was on Hulu. I don't know if it still
I
is
don't
on
know.
Hulu.
Might still be.
You really, really should check this out. If you're a 90s kid,
Yeah, if
you
you're in a
have to
certain
check
age
this
group, if
out.
you're in your 30s right now, go watch this.
Or a little
Yeah,
bit
but
older, a
there's a
little bit
special-
younger.
yeah.
But this is called The Orange Years. Is a documentary about Nickelodeon. And this lady right here, who we never knew, she's a great lady.
Yeah.
She's a great lady. She's an awesome lady. This is such an interesting documentary, and I wish that they had more, and I wish this wasn't on demand, burned,
Yeah,
but we have it, so that's good.
I made a VHS copy of it the other day.
Wow. Wow.
I wanted
He
to
made a
use I wanted
VHS
to use an orange Nickelodeon VHS, but I just use regular.
Where would you have gotten that?
I eventually will.
Okay.
So that was what, your number 4?
That was my number 4.
Okay, so my number 3 is Claudette Colbert in The Gilded Lily, and this is a brilliant 30s comedy, 35 I think, off the top of my head. Absolutely love this. It's a love triangle between a woman and her best friend, who she has no romantic interest in at first, until she becomes romantically involved with someone else, and it ends up being this whole thing, and I love it. There's this adorable thing with a bench that they sit at, and it's like a big bookend, this bench in the park type thing. It's beautiful. It's all about
beautiful.
she becoming an overnight sensation because of a falsified newspaper article he writes about her love affair with this guy who turns out to be famous and rich. And
Why is
it's this whole
everything that
thing.
you
It's-
watch,
it's great.
everything that you play, video game wise, everything is like a soap opera with you? You're like a 45-year-old woman.
I love melodrama, romance, and comedy. So if you put all 3 of those together, which this does, that is my perfect formula.
I love how when we're buying things, sometimes people just assume they're for me. And if it's pink and pretty and frilly, it's probably for you.
Probably because usually it's a romantic comedy or something like that, or
Yeah.
yeah.
My number 3
Mm-hmm.
is my new celebrity crush.
And this is exciting because, as we've said, and as you've seen by my movie selections, I'm the old movie person. Amanda very infrequently likes something before the 80s.
So
Very infrequently.
this lady, you are allowed to marry, and she can be my sister wife, but she is dead.
Yes.
So she
died
cannot
at
be.
50, yeah.
So she cannot be.
Which was almost 50 years ago.
But if she came back, I would allow you to marry her, and she can be my sister wife, and I will love her forever. Her name is Veronica Lake, and she is my girlfriend. And this is I Married a Witch. And this was a very good movie.
I love that
I
movie.
like this movie a lot. I liked her dad. Her husband, but she takes the whole thing. She's amazing. She's beautiful and amazing and wonderful
And sarcastic and funny and...
and just so perfect. And I love her. This is a great movie, and I did not think I was going to like it, but we sat down and
Yeah,
watched
that's
it.
42, is it? I think it says on the back
Something like
somewhere.
that.
I think somewhere. But I think
Something like
it's
that.
40 something.
And
42.
it's a Criterion, so
42,
we could
yeah.
read the
But
article.
this does not anything. Whenever I get a Criterion, you're like, ugh, it's so pretentious. And
It is.
And movies from the 40s, you're like, ugh, I have no interest, and you walk away. And yet, this was one of your favorites of the year. So this is, I can't tell you how exciting it is to me that you love this movie.
Well, all of a sudden, out of nowhere,
Fantastic.
it appeared with the Blu-rays too.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And he's like, well, you like it.
Yeah,
so we
both
have
versions.
to. So we have both versions that look exactly the same.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but we do.
That's one of those like
Did
special
I put it in the
ones.
right spot?
Yeah,
Oh my god. Oh no.
no problems. Okay, so that was what?
That was my number
Your number 3. So I'm at my number 2.
You're right. You know,
Yeah, my
very
number
good
2.
with numbers.
My number 2 is the one thing we don't have because we just saw it in theaters, and it's still fairly new, so we're not going to spoil anything in here. I'm not going to really talk about it very much. But Spider-Man: No Way Home was amazing. I like Spider-Man. That's my favorite, superhero. And of all the Spider-Man films, and all the people that have played Spider-Man in the modern movies, Tom Holland's my favorite. And this, though, brings back, like, so many elements of the older ones that I love. And, yeah, I'll leave it at that. It's amazing. It's my favorite Marvel movie now. It's, like, my favorite Spider-Man movie. It's awesome. My number 2 for the year. And it is, I'll have to say, the best thing I saw this year, but my second favorite thing I saw this year.
Wow.
So, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is the very first Maleficent. And I wanted to hate this. I was so ready to hate
And
this.
your number 2 for the year.
My number 2 for the year. And I can't believe I like this, but it was so well done. It looks really, really good. Like 90% of the CG, I'm okay with. There are a couple things, a couple people that look really
The
screwed
3
up.
fairies didn't work.
fairies.
The motion capture on them was weird.
I don't think Umbridge should be a fairy.
Everything else worked
I
fine.
was
Everything
very
else is good,
confused
though.
by that. That was inappropriate.
And they took, some routes within the story that I did not think they were going to do, like the mother's
Mm-hmm.
love being true love over the romantic, and there were things in there that Disney's not going to do that. Like that would be really good writing if they did that, but Disney's not going to do
and
it.
these were
And they
the
didn't.
thing about
They
these
didn't.
are than Disney usually gets.
The first, this had the potential to
Yeah,
be.
this
The
one
problem
wasn't.
with this one, the story of this one was held back because it's a Disney movie. You know what I mean?
But
Like
this
that one was not.
This one especially, but this one has some dark elements, but completely different route that they took, and I really was very surprised, and I don't like Angelina Jolie, but
I like Angelina Jolie.
it's really good, and I was really impressed. I loved it.
I can't think of what your number 1's going to be. No, okay. No, I can think about what it is.
Uh,
But my number 1, I think we're just flip-flopped. My number 1 is The Orange Years, Nickelodeon. Again, Spider-Man's the best thing I saw. This had such an emotional impact on me. Like, this just brings me back to one of my favorite eras of television, a really good time in my life, and there's so much about this that has kind of disappeared into the ether. So many things aren't available on DVD, it's only on VHS, if it even exists on VHS, and so much from this era that's just gone. And this was just such a beautiful, nostalgic, like emotionally powerful thing for me. It was more than just a fun documentary. Like, this really meant
but it was
something.
also really, like, informative. Like,
Informative, well done.
there's a lot in here that I had no idea was a thing.
Great chronicle of Nickelodeon from even when it was a local like station, like before we started watching things, and what it meant, and all the way through the demise into what it is now today. Just a brilliant documentary, and just the great caliber, and really just it had so much appeal to me on a personal level that I don't think anything could have beat it this year.
Yeah.
Like, just because of what it meant to me. It doesn't matter what else I
Yeah,
watched.
definitely check it out on Hulu. If it's, I think it's still on Hulu.
Yeah.
It was on Hulu, but
Yeah.
fantastic.
I love it so much.
My number 1.
So yeah, I think I know what your number 1 is now.
My number 1 is the Spider-Mans. It was great. It was fantastic.
And you're not as big of a Spider-Man fan as me,
I am
so
not.
that really
I am
shows
not.
you the caliber of this movie.
My favorite is Wolverine's.
Mm-hmm.
I love Wolverine's. He's a very attractive man.
Yes, I think your favorite to be X-Men and Deadpool.
I like the 90s cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite.
That's my favorite Spider-Man is the 90s, the 1994.
I love that. But this was really good. Like there really wasn't anything I could complain about. I just
Yeah.
wanted more.
Yeah, I wish we could talk more about it in this, but we're not because it's
We're
too
not
soon.
gonna we're not gonna say anything yet.
Yeah,
But it was so great, and this was our first movie back, like in the theaters, like
in
a new
2 years. But
Yeah,
almost
I'm-
exactly 2 years.
like a
'cause
brand new movie in the
it was
theaters.
Sonic and
We saw Sonic in March, I think.
No, I think it was end of February, wasn't it?
Oh, probably.
End of February,
I think it
beginning
was
of March.
around not Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day,
No, that's yeah,
because we went with
Matt and Jen.
yeah. So it was great. It was just such a nice experience, and I think everything was really well done, and I think it didn't have to be as well done as it was, and it was
Yeah,
really...
everything was very well balanced in the storytelling, and it wasn't muddled. Even though it puts there are a lot of things in there that it could have felt crowded, never did.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
And you
amazing.
even liked Doctor Strange in that, which was
Yeah,
very
that's
surprising.
the thing.
for
Even
me.
though that doesn't spoil anything that he's in there because it's in
Everyone
every
knows
preview.
he's
But
in there.
but yeah, I normally don't like Doctor Strange, but I like because I think Doctor Strange for me works really well as a supporting character. I don't like when he's the
You're gonna get
focus.
all these dislikes now because people love
I don't
Hubert
I don't care.
Cumberbatch.
I don't care. Doctor Strange to me is only interesting as in a supporting role. But no, I liked everything in this.
Yeah, it was really good, and
I really like Aunt May. Marissa Tomei. Yeah.
she's like your grandma. Like, she could be your grandmother.
That's one hot grandma. So those are our top 10 movies that were new to us this year. And I don't know what order these are going to be put out. This will probably be the first one, but check out, we do one for video games and also for books this year.
Yes, and
So-
let us know what your favorite movies were.
Yes, I'd love to
And
hear.
if you've watched any of these and you think we're full of crap,
Yep.
tell us. I would love to know.
You
I-
love crap.
I love crap.